Let's see. Give me a thumbs up in chat if you can hear me. Hello, Stephanie. Hey, Princess Alyssa. Hello, Harmony. Hi. Hey, Kidney J. Good to see you guys. So, just give me a thumbs up in chat if you can actually hear me. Um, Trying to see why isn't. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me now? I'm not seeing chat moving either. So I'm using my phone or my old phone. Let's see, live chat. Let's see. Okay, you guys can hear me. Am I redlining, pegging out, or am I sounding tolerable for those with headphones on? I know we have to do this every time. Will I never learn? Oh, thank you, Laura. Laura, thank it's so to the people who sent me cards and gifts. Laura, I just got your birthday present. They're so awesome. She sent me this amazing like vintage German cup and like Death by Coffee. It's so awesome. So, thank you to everybody. Oh, good. Thank you, Minka. Good, good. Yeah. Hey, Pernilla. Storkram. Hello, everybody. Hey, Puppy Breath. It's fine. You know what? I'm like a super awkward person. Like I'm a really awkward person. Um and like when people are kind to me or are nice, like I have no problem getting cards and doing things for people, but when people are nice to me, I'm like I don't know what to do. I get like really awkward. So I yesterday I would say on a scale 1 to 10 was like an 11 birthday. It was such a great day. Everybody was so awesome. I got cards, I got, gifts, and it was a great day. So, to everybody who sent me a card or a gift, and a couple people even sent me cash, which I will use to put back into the channel because there's some props I want to get to do some things. Um, Thank you. I like from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Like I said, awkward. I don't know what to say. I don't and I'm not going to start crying on camera. Um okay, yes, thank you. Let's hey, Collie, how's it going? Good to see you. Hopefully I'm not stepping on anybody else that was planning on going live. Let's be realistic. There are some channels who go live and they seem like they're just live all the time. And so, I can't really work around that. What I need to do is I've got a bunch of zucchini that I need to process. So I'm going to chop it up because I need to vacuum pack it. And I figured, hey, Feeble Greeble, good to see ya. So I figured it would be a good time for me to process some of the things I need to process to vacuum pack, and maybe we can discuss some of the things, some of the not so stellar behavior that we have seen monetized here on YouTube from our one and only Foodie Beauty. I know, and it's like beating a dead horse at this point because everybody and their dog has covered it, but it's it's my hobby. So let a few more. Hey, Marlena Dietrich. Hello, hello. Hey there, Chelsea. Good to see you. Thank you. Grateful Life. Good to see you. So I said hi to Feeble Grebo. Grebo. I said hello to Minka. Kidney J. Okay, I just got to make sure I said hi to everybody. I said hi to Puppy Breath, Stephanie, Pernila, Laura, Kidney, my KJ. Okay, good. So, and you guys, you know how it is. We just kind of have a chit chat session, and you guys just have fun in the chat. I don't even know where to start when it comes to Chantal, to be honest. My God. Um, well, I guess one thing that stands out to me, so like I said, I'm trying to multitask here. If at any point my volume level sounds like I'm talking too loud, let me know. I might swap out my headphones. Um, I got my little compost bucket here. I don't want to leave it on the counter because I'll just knock it on the floor and have to clean it up. So, um, I didn't get dressed today. It's the day after my birthday. I can walk around in pajamas all day. So did anybody catch Chantal's most recent live? the one everybody's been streaming, that bees one, where she, I think it was last night she did that. So as we all know, I guess we can start at the beginning. I took a few notes. Is like so like we could all tell from Chantal's outfits is she's doubling up. She is going out and doing, a couple things a day, I believe, and then breaking them up and releasing them a few days later. Oh yeah, the chin slip, we'll get to that. A few days later and trying to pretend they're doing all these things. So that that Patai floating market one, uh at the end. And so my battery's going dead, but hold on. I will have to show you guys this anyway, just because it was so bad. It's so bad. It's good. I need to get an extension cord. Okay, hold on. Let me turn the brightness up on this. This is my old iPad that barely works. But so that Patai floating market that she went to, um, when her and Salad at the very end were sitting there, like if this doesn't sum up how it's going for Chantal while she's in um, Thailand, I don't know what does. I mean, at the end of that video, regardless of all the smiles and stuff, and she pretends it's no big deal, I think that face shows it all. She didn't show herself getting out of that boat. She even mentioned in that live, like, oh, it was awkward angles and blah blah blah, and she was extra insistent in this most recent live that I don't care. I am proud of who I am. It doesn't bother me. Methinks the lady doth protest too much. I think this face says it all. I think she struggled to get out of that boat. I think and when she was talking about it, she said they. So Salad was not the only one that helped her get out of that boat. They probably had a person on each arm and somebody underneath trying to hoist her up. And I think it was embarrassing and I think it was messy. I really do. And so you can't tell me otherwise. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but that's what I think happened with that. Yeah, but she just, and she looked, hey, holy moly, good to see you. She looked pretty to me. Hey, Leanie, good to see you. I missed you guys. Right? Feeble Grebo says if Foodie Beauty is your hobby, you need a new hobby. Right? Hey, Lazy, good to see you. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much sick of Chantal, but at this point we've invested enough time that I'm really curious to see how this turns out. Man, so that Patai floating market and and hold on, like I said, I'm multitasking here. In fact, let me grab an extension cord so I can plug in my other iPad because I have a few more. You guys know me. If I drop dead, somebody needs to come to my house and erase all these screenshots of Chantal on my iPad because I look like a crazy person. Let me get an extension cord so I can so I can keep showing the pictures as I want. Can you guys hear me as I'm walking away? This is information. So let me know because I am clear in the bathroom. And if you guys can still hear me, I need to know that I need to leave my headphones behind or did it cut out? And for my extension cord, burned out Christmas lights. Yeah, I need a good extension cord. I don't have a good extension cord, so, but you know what? Blondie sent me 20 bucks, which I showed yesterday for my birthday. Maybe I'll buy myself an actual extension cord instead of this white trash setup I got going on here. I'm okay with being trailer trash though, because Chantal seems to hate us people that live in trailer parks, so it doesn't bother me. Oh, okay. Of course these would get all knotted up now that I need it to not be. Okay, laugh amongst yourselves. This was kind of a spur of the moment live, as are all my lives. Much as with everything in my life, nothing's ever really very well thought out. It just kind of happens. All right. But I do have a bunch of vegetables I'm trying to dice up so I can vacuum pack them. All right, let me get the charger. I didn't even set up my bad baking and questionable cooking sign today. That tells you how last minute this was. So, all right, let's see. Exactly. Chelsea knows there's nothing. We love being white trash, trailer trash. Woohoo! Okay. So yeah, for anybody that just rolled in, this picture pretty much sums up. Um, and I'm sure Chantal's having a good time. I mean, who doesn't? It's an interesting, it's an amazing country with amazing things to do. But out of her own mouth, Chantal said she doesn't have hobbies. She doesn't have interest. She really doesn't. She's not a very interested person in anything outside of almost hedonistic, things that can just bring her instant, just gratification. So I'm sure she's having fun and stuff. I know when they're at that Pattaya floating market, remember that absolutely gorgeous woman in that red dress? Yikes. Oh, and did you notice how, like, Salad and Chantal, they were posing like this? And it just like abruptly cut away from that. No explanation or anything about them. And just next scene, we're in the boats, no mention of it. And I really think that whether Chantal wants to admit it or not, I think she was seething. I don't think she wanted that woman anywhere near her, and I think it bothered her. My opinion. Let's see. Do you think she'd be denied her visa? Thousands of people are being turned away in Kuwait. That is, yes, Feeble Grebo. It is a double oven. And they both work. It's awesome. I know. Double ovens are great. Lazy says, do you think she'll be denied her visa? Thousands of people are being turned away in Kuwait. I'm really curious what's going to happen because Kuwait is starting to clamp down. They're starting to do a lot more medical, and even though she's there on a tourist visa, and it's easy to slip through the cracks, but after so many back to back tourist visas, it could become a problem. So I honest, we all know Chantal's a cockroach of a human being, and I don't mean to insult, cockroaches, Blattaria, they're amazing creatures. Um, Fun little side note, unlike like like bees and ants, which are truly social creatures. Everybody thinks cockroaches, because they live in what they see as big colonies, are also social. Blattaria cockroaches actually are not social creatures. They are a bunch of individuals that will live side by side, but they don't work together the way, like, your bees and ants, and those in that class, how they work together for the good of the hive. Is the good of the many is more important than the good of the ones. Even though cockroaches, is a lot of them, so Chantal is a lot more like a cockroach, because they are truly individual singular beings that just happen to live, where you find one you tend to find a lot, but they don't have a kind of hive structure. They don't work together in any kind of cooperative way, the way bees and ants and the other uh, those guys do. So sorry, side tangent. Hey, Celebrity Juicer, good to see you. Hey, Layla. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Oh, thank you, Feeble Grebo. They're great ovens. Hey, Bally, good to see you. Um, let's see. Yeah, Mr. Grebo is out fishing. You know what's new? He went fishing yesterday. So it keeps him happy, but that means when I have one of those. So anybody that's watched my videos know I have the attitude monkey, and I have the one no I insist per year. By letting him go fishing when he wants to go fishing, it really saves me on having to burn up that one no I insist, because I only get one per year. So I let him go fishing a lot, and that just means when I have days where I'm like, no, I have to put up with like 50% less, bitch fit from him, to put it nicely. So, all right, well, let's see. Oh, yeah, I said hi to Layla. So, yeah, I think that this picture right here sums up kind of that Pattaya floating market day for Chantal. Her and Salad's behavior is, Chantal and her straw man arguments, how, like, oh, you're Muslim shaming me this and that. And it's just how she wants everybody to respect her and what she wants, but she has zero respect for anybody else's culture. Like, if anybody's seen Sansa Cook's videos where she's talking about the Thai culture, about showing your crotch, spreading your legs and sitting like this, the way, like when they went into that shisha bar, and it clearly said, no videos, right? And Salad and Chantal were in there all lounged back videotaping, even though they're not supposed to. Salad had his feet up on the chair they were sitting in, displayed out for the world to see. So A, you don't get to tell me that, you're a good Muslim and that we're all bullies. That Chantal, in my opinion, she covers herself up from her nose to her ankles, because not because she's a good Muslim, not because she's devout, not because she's trying to respect Allah and the Quran. What she's trying to do is, we all know, we've seen her for years doing this. Remember the turtlenecks? Remember the leopard print turtleneck like this? She would try to. Well, she's finally found a way to permanently, do that with the hijab. And so that's what that's about. And in the cat cafe, Chantal sitting on the floor. And granted, she can't sit a lot of other ways. Oh, hold on, let's see. Oh, thank you, Bali. Thank you. Did I miss somebody new that came in? Amber, hey, Amber, good to see you. Hey, Stackish. Thank you for the birthday present, Stackish. I was just telling people that the cash, I'm going to use it to get more props for the channel, because this winter I want to do more, long form videos. But so thank you very much. So to anybody that just rolled in, I had an excellent birthday, and I really, really thank you, everybody. It's most appreciated. Um, oh yeah, Chantal doesn't even know what this is in Thailand. Are you kidding me? Let's see, what was I talking about? So, in the cat cafe, sitting there, she's all splayed out on the floor. Uh, just embarrassing. Not just embarrassing, but offensive to the local culture, which the secondhand embarrassment. She's a cringe human being, and I'll say this, and I'll always say this. It has nothing to do with Chantal's weight. Will I comment on her weight? Yes, because she's a super morbidly obese, middle-aged woman with many, many unchecked health diagnoses that she just keeps thinking aren't gonna affect her life. But she could become a skinny legend tomorrow, and she would still be an absolutely horrible human being that contributes nothing. Like, it's not very often that I find somebody that has no redeeming qualities, but I'm going to be honest with Chantal, is she she contributes nothing to the planet. She really is the poster child for just gluttonous hedonistic excess, and a complete waste of valuable resources, my opinion. I don't feel bad for her. I'm the reason I'm still watching her is because, sorry, I'm cutting out the middle of the zucchini because this one, he got so big. There's a lot of seeds in here. So anybody that wants some vegetable seeds, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to my PO box, and I will send you seeds. And I've got Harmony sent me a sazy, so she's going to get some pressed flowers. So yeah, send me that, and I will gladly share the seeds from the bountiful harvest. But I got to cut out some of the middle. Let's see, where was I going? Um, oh, hey, Blondie. I'm glad to see you. Thank you so much for the card, Blondie. I said that earlier. Oh, Natural Ginger. Hello, hello. I said hi to Leanie Bo. I said hi to Amber and Minka. I said hi to Lazy. So, okay, let me pull out some of my, like, the amount of photos I have, you guys, is, yeah, I mean, that's all I have is screenshots of Chantal. So I guess we'll start back with so I have a really good friend I used to work with who's actually from Thailand. And we had actually had this conversation well before I discovered Chantal, but I was being told that Thailand as a culture, they're just, how like sometimes you see somebody that's and you think, oh, how unfortunate. You look and you look away and you don't say anything. And from what I was told in Thailand, they have no problem saying, hey, you're fat. Why are you fat? What's going on here? It's not good for you. And so I think the amount of people that are staring at Chantal while she's over there is incredibly high. And in one of my shorts, I was talking about the reason it feels so much hotter in Thailand is because what they call the dew point. Then, if for anybody that, I don't know if I still have the screenshot, but when it comes to dew points, let me see if I still have it. I think I probably deleted it. But when it comes to dew points, as long as you're in the like in a dew point of like 50 degrees is 40 to 50 degrees is considered a really nice day. This has to do with dew point, and this has to do with your relative humidity and what they call wet bulb, like at what temperature water will evaporate, blah blah blah. I don't need to get into the science. So 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. If anybody wants to put the European equivalents in the chat, that'd be great. I am terrible at converting because I'm American. We do everything imperial. So 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, is extremely nice day. Once you get up to like 50, 55 degrees, it's still considered comfortable when it comes to relative, or excuse me, dew point. Once the dew point temperature rises to 60, you start to get into the uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. And you get anything above 60, you're getting 60, 65 up to 70 to, so anything above, I think, a 70-degree dew point, you're moving into unbearable territory. Like, when you're already really hot and you get out of a sauna and you're sweating and you just want cold air because no matter how much you sweat, it doesn't evaporate. You can't cool down. And that is the kind of humidity, the relative humidity. And with the dew point the other day in Bangkok, where Chantal was at like 76 degrees, well into the unbearable category. So that it's hot and miserable for her. And then oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to do 10 things at once. You know me. I don't multitask. Hey, Loyal Warrior, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. I love that for her too, holy moly. So let me see if I can find so when they were in that one market walking through, the really cringy one where the lady behind Chantal pulled out the phone to snap a picture because here's this 5'1", super morbidly obese woman LARPing as a Muslim. So she had the hijab on and she had on that jean shirt, which was just which was skin tight. All the buttons are always straining, eating. Let me see if I can. So when she was walking, I don't know if you can see that much on this, but well, like I said, you can see because so she has the backpack on, which is pulled the jean shirt back, and then down below all this down there. That is her hanging apron. So you remember, even a year and a half ago, Chantal had a really large gut. She had her first gut, and then she had that second one. But her second one has, because of gravity and because she's getting older, it's really descended. I mean, it's probably descended a good foot and a half. And then below that, we have the fupa, which is now descended even further. So when she walks, it's constantly smacking on her legs, and it cannot be easy to walk like that. It must be so incredibly hot, and the way she's just constantly wrapped up because, oh, I don't care. No, she cares very much, you know. And so it's got to be embarrassing regardless of what she says. Oh yeah, right. Hold on. Yeah, so I outlined it right here. So you can see that's the bottom of her apron right there. And then that arrow right there, that little fat pouch right there, is she used to always have fairly thin legs. She's now starting to deposit large amounts of fat onto her legs even. I mean, the amount of weight gain. And did you guys see in her life today where she had the wardrobe malfunction where she was, she messes around with the hijab? Oh, hey, DG, good to see you. Yes, I'm sitting here trying to process food, and I just end up, um, then I start talking and I don't get anything done. Sorry. But yeah, but this was today. She was messing around with her hijab, and the pin right there finally just went tink, and that's what we see. And remember, look how smooth. Her hands have no knuckles, nothing. So sorry, I've got zucchini on the back of my hand. So her hands, and there's no texture, right? So she's already got these filters. She's got her eyes extra big. She's got the slimming filters on, but that popped out. And we all know that first little chin she has a third chin behind that. So And she looked truly shocked. I didn't take a picture of that, I don't think, but she was like, "Oh." So I honestly think she's so used to seeing her face through filters and stuff that she has an unrealistic representation in her own mind's eye of what she actually looks like. Do we all remember when she had her live stream going, when she had it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, where she had her camera sitting up here and she was walking around and she didn't look so bad. And then she walked in to Pizza's live stream, and thus we could see on her face what she looked like versus what she actually looked like when she walked in on Pizza's stream. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, she is huge and horrible. Does Piggy have a short of Chantal when she walked in on Pizzas, or does Piggy have just the funny short of the wardrobe malfunction, Loyal Warrior? But okay, let me see. She is huge, and she's just terrible. She is so her walking around clueless, and then and if you want to eat live shrimp and stuff like that, fine, do it. But you don't get to walk around and beat your chest and say you're such an awesome human being, but then turn around and do things like that. Like, there's certain things that you don't need to say it out loud. It is what it is, right? But at this point, and I think today what really did it for her, what made me go live. So the live that Chantal just her most recent one, I think it was last night. No, it was this morning. I think it's just called Bees. She says, "I don't care what you think. I'm uncancelable. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. You can unsubscribe. You cannot give me super chats. It doesn't matter. I'm uncancelable. You can't touch me." She said this. She really thinks this. And then she tries to throw up those straw man arguments. And if you don't know what a straw man argument is, it's putting up an argument that's just ridiculous to strengthen your case. So it's the guy that goes to court and says, "Your Honor, my next door neighbor went to jail for chaining his child to a radiator for 3 weeks and starving him. I didn't do that. I only backhand my kid with a baseball once or twice a month, or with a baseball bat once or twice a month." You see what I'm saying? Straw man argument. Those are the kind of arguments that Chantal uses to make herself sound better. Believe it or not, two things can be true at the same time, Chantal. So yeah, for her to go and try to make excuses when she went to that absolutely terrible um that tiger temple. Oh, those places are just notorious. And even tigers that are bred in captivity, you can't get rid of wild genes. Wild animals are highly unpredictable, and no tiger that is not sedated is going to sleep or any of those things, while human after human after human grabs it by the tail and leaves on its hind quarters. That's a real thing. Those animals are obviously sedated. I wouldn't be surprised if they were declawed also. Yeah, that tiger place was just yeah, like that Ruby Frank woman, straw man argument. You don't get to be a like you don't get to if you beat your wife, you don't get to compare yourself. Well, at least Ted Bundy did this. Yeah, I was really upset. And Salad leaning on them was just so frustrating, and how he's trying to flex, like, hey, White Knight, good to see you. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss you. So it was just. And then during this most recent live where Chantal was talking about it, all these hypocrites and all these channels. So I'm going to try to vacuum pack the zucchini. I'm also going to try to vacuum pack some of the tomatoes. So Chantal said, "Oh, everybody they just hate on me." She actually in this latest live compared herself, like, "Oh, when it comes to Natter, when it comes to Dee Dee and me and May," she actually tried to compare herself to May. Everybody has sympathy for May, but not for me. I'm kind of paraphrasing. So she really is trying to victimize herself and put herself in the same category as the woman who has been fighting for about 2 years to make sure that McStabby gets charged for an SA that he perpetrated on this poor woman. And then Chantal turned around and lied for Natter to give him an out and defended him. And then on top of that, then when Chantal couldn't control the man she wanted to fake love her, she does everybody remember my video I played last time I was live where she goes, "Don't worry, I have a plan." Was Natter rough with her? Yeah, I think so. But do you think when she went in and claimed SA and DV and all that stuff? No, I think that was a calculated move because she did not like being told no, and she sees it as a game, and that's what she did. And so now she's trying to compare herself to a woman who was literally assaulted by that man. She is vile. That's why I stick around, and it's my hobby because I want to see how the universe deals with her. Let's see, May was violated exactly, and yep, and Foodie Beauty spread a false narrative. Um, I know they were drugged and show. Yeah, yeah, yep. Those animals. So I don't know. I'm sure I brought it up, but I'm a research biologist, and I've done lots of work with lots of animals, and to the point where I've had to translocate animals to the point where we've had to tranquilize them and move them with helicopters and stuff. I've been part of that, so I know what a drugged animal looks like, you know. And there's a difference between drugging an animal for its own good so you can safely relocate it because it's a federally listed endangered species versus drugging an animal so you can lay it out for a bunch of assholes to touch it. Ugh, just frustrating. And then for Chantal to come on, that really was the last straw. I'm actively rooting for her downfall at this point. And I just hope the revolution will be televised, you know? Um, let's see, I said hi. Yep, yep, yeah. Let's see, without a doubt, drug. Yep, yep. And so, but for her to compare herself to May was gross. And then for her to defend, well, and at least we didn't go to one of those unethical elephant places. Once again, my neighbor chained my kid to a radiator for 3 weeks. All I did was hit him in the face once with a baseball bat. Tomato, tomato. Six of this, half dozen of the others. You're still a flaming asshole, Chantal. Bottom line. Hold on, I need to get a bowl to put all this stuff in. So, and I know, and so am I sounding too loud, guys, or no? Hey, Desiree, good to see you. Thank you, thank you. Hey, Jules, hello, good to see you. Yeah, yeah, Jules. Mad at the internet doesn't even begin to. I was like, and I'm the first one that's always like, this is my entertainment, this is my hobby. She's just some stranger on the internet. But I've gone from that to where I am actively hoping that the universe gives Chantal, and I will be the first one or one of the first to say, and I truly believe Chantal is living her own karma. She's just too stupid to know it at this point, or too unaware, right? Chantal is truly, and I've had this conversation before. Everybody tries to say, oh, Chantal is she's well this diagnosis and that diagnosis, and I honestly think at this point, um, Chantal is just so extremely arrogant that that is what's wrong with her, and she's just um, they say it takes what, like 2 weeks for something to become a habit. And so Chantal very quickly, like social niceties, she let one of them fall by the wayside, um, point by point. And it's not because the internet did that to her. I just think that's the kind of person she is. Because, I've been on the internet for a hot minute, and overall, I don't think I have shown myself to be a terrible person. Why? Because I have to be accountable to myself. And this is not me power leveling on Chantal. I'm not some kind of A-log here or anything. My point is that Chantal just got more and more comfortable and began to actually show herself where, the little belches, the not brushing her teeth, not wiping her hands, licking the heck out of her fingers, the farting, the flashing. She just got more and more comfortable because that's the kind of person she is, because she has no shame. She has no shame. And I think she's always been this way. And this is what happens when you have an asshole kid who you call cutie, and you enable them to be the worst version of themselves continually. that you get a very distorted worldview. I think Chantal's always been like this. I think she would have been a nightmare as a child. Can you remember the story where she got really upset because her grandma wouldn't give her a third pudding and how her mom never had soda in the house? Can you imagine the grocery bills of Chantal when she was like 10, 11, 12 years old? Like, think about it. Think about the amount of money it would have taken because she was already morbidly obese, but she's always been huge. So she couldn't have been cheap. And she was the kind of kid that probably snuck into the freezer or the cabinets and ate whatever you had, even if you were going to cook dinner the next day. One of those people. Let's see. I said hi. Hey, Aunt Amy, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm just kind of ranting. Yeah, how she faked the unaliving. So when Chantal got so mad at her mom because her mom wouldn't let her do what she wanted, that she pretended she took a bottle of pills, and then when she got taken to the hospital, she got so worried about it, she actually took a few extra of her antidepressants or something. All this for attention. And she giggles about it like that is normal teenage behavior. It's not. It's not normal. It's not something you giggle about. It's not something to be proud of. It's not something cute. It shows a really disturbing pattern of behavior at a very young age. And she's very comfortable sharing that with strangers on the internet. It's like Chantal thinks being an absolutely deplorable human being, like she, in her twisted frame of reference, she thinks it makes her like a quirky, interesting individual. It doesn't, Chantal. It just makes you an asshole. Plain and simple. The fact that you're super morbidly obese is just icing on the cake. But oh, so let me see. Uh, but on every single, so and now she's got that new mic she started to use, so the eating sounds are even more pronounced. Um, like the other day where that lady asked if she was pregnant, all of her shirts, all the buttons are hanging on for dear life. Like she is actively getting fatter. Um, yeah, a fat embryo. Hey, Raccoon Man, welcome. She is disgusting. She's just, hey, Jocelyn's mom, good to see you. Good to see you. I said hi to Amy, Aunt Amy. Um, so but the thing is she doesn't have very many clothes that fit her. We know this. We know Chantal is not big on doing laundry. So story time. I was a wildland firefighter, and it's 100 105 degrees. We're fighting fires. We are working 12 hours a day. It's really really, I was a single resource boss, so I had my own engine and my own crew, but sometimes we would have to do what they call type 1, where we would go out as a hand crew, and we'd do that, and we would go out in coyote. That's where you do spike camps and you're way off the line and you're trying to stop the fire from jumping, but it's extremely hot. We had one day where they had it was a Black Flag Day where the recommendation was is you had to have 5 gallons of water per person with you for that day to drink. And we were constantly drinking water, and I didn't we not once the entire day because I was sweating so badly, right? So that is the kind of temperature Chantal is dealing with in Thailand, right? Well, we'd been there for like 2 weeks, and we'd gotten a day off because after 14 days there was a fire a while ago up on the Canadian border, and there were fatalities. I was up on that fire, and oh, it was terrible. I heard those people screaming on the radio when it was just a terrible thing. But my point is so we had this thing where after 14 days you need to have a day off. Well, I was so exhausted on this day off because I had a new pair of socks somewhere in my brush rig. I thought I did a load of laundry, but I didn't get to washing my socks, right? And so I remember the next day I had rinsed out a pair of my socks because your wildland boots, I mean, you're absolutely soaked with just sweat and it's so salty. Like I was like a big salt lick. And so I put on a pair of socks that I had, rinsed and dried. And within that, at the end of that day, we call it trench foot when you're wildland firefighting, the skin on my feet had raised up and was starting to physically peel off. And it was bad. And that was after one shift, one 12-hour shift of reusing a pair of socks. Now, put that to Chantal. We all know she doesn't do laundry. She's not that clean. I can only imagine how she smells and the state of her skin. This is all my opinion, but And much like the market, the stock market, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance, but you can see trends. And we see trends with Chantal. We know she's not that clean. We know that she doesn't wash from the waist down. We know that she said she doesn't wipe after using the restroom. We've seen how she washed her hands. Every place that she went into, when you wash your hands, you do this, you do this. That's how a normal human being. Chantal, when they went into the was it the tiger place, she put her hand in the sink and went like this. She didn't even get the water completely on, rinsed them, and went like this. And that right there told me everything I needed to know about her, that she's a filthy, vile human being. And I can guarantee you that uh, I would love to be able to take like a sample from under her fingernails and try to grow it out in a petri dish and like try to identify every single species of like fungus and bacteria, and then like even try to see what kind of viral load we're dealing with, because I can guarantee you, and she's probably even got some like protozoa in there, some single celled like amoebas, or God only knows. But just sorry. Yeah, drip dry, barnyard smell. Yeah, she's and so you take the increased, and like I said, this, I know I keep saying like I said, I'm trying to break myself of that habit. Maybe I'll get that from Santa for Christmas, that magically he will take that away. um her blood sugars, we know her blood sugars are high and uncontrolled. So you take that with that super, all that fat, so her circulation's crap, and all those creases with all that heat and that rubbing and the dead skin that's not being washed away. And then you add the salt and, from the sweat, and then you get the anaerobic respiration. Like we all have staph that lives on our skin. So she's talking about, and she's like, oh, on my upper thigh. I can guarantee you it was probably like somewhere right in there. They probably had to hoist everything up and get in there. And I know I've heard some people say, let's see, what did Amy say? I saw somebody say, "Barf, the poor people that had to sit behind her on the plane," right? Can you imagine just, oh, and I've had, when I lived in New York City, I've had to sit on the bus next to people where like it's physically nauseating. I suspect Chantal is one of those people. Do you guys want me to go get Mini Chantal and make her sit here and listen to this conversation? Give me a thumbs up in chat if you think Mini Chantal needs to sit right here and listen to what we're saying. I'll go get her. Yeah, Permesium, Stephanie, exactly. She doesn't wash her legs. Yeah, she said that what 2 3 years ago when she was at the luxury villa. That, oh, I don't wash. And we've seen like when she sits down now. I think I've got some photos. So like this one where she was sitting there and she had her little personal fan, and from the side, the fat lump on the back is getting quite extensive, and out front, I mean, she is absolutely massive. So okay, hold on. I'm gonna go get her. She can sit and listen. Am I going to get my vacuum packing done while on here? Maybe, maybe not. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. And have you noticed how she's like, she keeps wearing that tribal hat? I think, regardless of, even though it's a business arrangement, I think Chantal, right here, there we go. Yeah, you sit there, chins. Oh, look, remember the little hat? Yeah. So, that hat is too small for her, and she looks absolutely, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to stick there. Okay, let me see what chat's saying. Let's see, her clothes have that old. Yes, exactly, natural ginger. Chantal, yeah, right? Let me know if you have anything to say for yourself. I'll set the tiny mic up right next to her. And this is something we know. So look, we have a tiny mic, we have tiny Chantal with her tiny too small hat that keeps falling off because it's too small for her massive head. Um, That's the other thing. Do you hear how Chantal's talking all tough? Oh, I'll defend myself, this, that. I can guarantee you, we all know somebody like Chantal that they're all talk. They're all gung ho. They're the person that yells, fuck you, I'll beat your ass. Once the windows rolled up, the doors are locked, and the car's driving away. That's the that's the kind of person you are, Chantal. You know, you are all talk. You hide behind your screen and you talk a good game, but I can guarantee you she ran into any of us who was even like remotely direct because I personally feel there's nothing wrong with having okay, I'll just set the hat right here. There's nothing wrong with having civil social discourse, right? But I have no problem talking to somebody and being like, you are a terrible person. The way you treat other people's terrible. You have no logic. You use straw man arguments, and overall, you're just really a waste of natural resources and of space. And you are taking your health for granted. And you are personally, I think she's reached the point of no return. Like, even if she lost a bunch of weight now, I really think the damage is done. So, the damage is done, Cupcake. You're going to pay for this. You've been a terrible person your entire life. Yeah, yeah. Time to pay the piper. Okay, let's see what chat says. Oh, hey, Jarella. Hello. Is Dainty Girl here? Hey. Okay, hi, Jarella. Kidney, hello. So, yeah, and I know how it goes. Everybody here. Hey, Clotho. Where's Lachesis and Atropos? So, fun fact, Grebo Jr., if he had been a girl, his name would have been Clothos. I like my Greek myths. What can I say? So, let's see. Hey, Liz. Good to see you. So, okay. So, let's see. Where was I going? Um, Anybody new coming in? Yeah, we've got little mini Chantal in her terrible hat right here. But she's just I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, but yeah, when she was out, did you see like the sweat stains she had on her? I mean, she was just covered with sweat. So that I think, and the fact that so there's some people saying they think that she made up the ER visit. Um I don't think she did. I do think I 110% believe that she has some sort of skin infection going. I believe that. But remember she said, "Oh, but I didn't get antibiotics." So the way they do it, if you watch anybody that let's say that doesn't have health insurance, it has to go to one of the hospitals, one of the private hospitals in Thailand, you pay for everything as you leave. So, on average, Sansa Cooks did a video on this, but for I would say for something Chantal had done would, be maybe in the ballpark. It could be anywhere from like 150, maybe $175 with antibiotics and stuff. But you can choose to refuse those meds. And remember how Chantal said, oh, that cost a pretty penny. For those of us in the United States, only having to pay $150 for going to the ER, the clouds part and God has spoken to you. That is so cheap. Chantal comes from the land of people keep saying Canada has a free health system. It is not free. It's socialized medicine. So the people who are responsible and pay their taxes pay for the system. Everybody benefits. Chantal should not benefit because she doesn't pay taxes and she's a system leech, but tomato, tomato. So to somebody from Chantal who comes from Canada where, free healthcare where you don't pay when you go in there to suddenly be charged $150 plus the cost of the medication, that probably seemed like a pretty penny to her. And if there are copays in Canada, a lot of the times they bill you after the fact. No, she needed to cough that money up right then. So they may very well have provided some prophylactic antibiotics because usually when you have some kind of infection to the point where they have to lance it, and I keep hearing some reaction channels saying, oh, it was a cyst, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. Cysts can get infected if they rupture. Chantal doesn't have a history of cysts. I highly believe it was probably a boil that probably turned into a carbuncle. The infection spread, all that walking, that sweating, not to mention the really high blood sugars, the deteriorated state of her circulatory system because, when you have high blood sugar because you're diabetic and you're not dealing with it, glucose, sugar, is little shards of glass scraping through all those capillaries and destroying them. It makes it very hard for you to heal. And not to mention when you have very, very high blood sugar. When you have high blood sugar, bacteria, fungus, all kinds of things like to eat that. Makes it easy for them to grow. So maybe they offered her prophylactic antibiotics and she chose not to buy them, and maybe they are running lab tests to see exactly what is growing in boil that she has so they can give her real specific antibiotics. We don't know, but There is. I really feel there's a good chance she chose not to pay for the antibiotics, and salad won't pack the wound the way that, remember how Pete's used to for her, so she's got to go back to every other day. We'll see. That's just my opinion. Hey, Goose Chuck. Sorry. Hey, Parker. Hey, Aaron Tay. Sorry, I was just on a rant about Chantal and just, yeah, I can't with her, but she still prevails. I think hey, okay, I said hi to, okay, Raccoon Man says, I am diabetic and you have to maintain proper hygiene. Exactly. That is so true. And then, and hopefully it's not MRSA because that's what the methylstaphin resistant Staphylococcus aureus, that is the thing with MRSA though is you tend to get that at hospitals. So if anybody, does anybody want a little quick lesson? So uh, prokaryotes, before, without, karyote, little nut, bacteria, they don't have a nucleus the way we do. We're eukaryotes, meaning true, karyote, little nut, true little nut. We have a nucleus. That's where our genetic material is kept. Prokaryotes, before, without the little nut, bacteria, their genetic material just floats around. So what they do when they reproduce is they go around, they bump into each other, and they do this thing called conjugation, right? And it's basically they form this little tube and they feed their basically this is really simplified, but they feed their DNA, you know, to each other. They look at it, and one of them might be like, "That looks like an interesting gene. I don't have a copy of that. I'll take that." And they do that with each other, right? And then they also, they divide, they reproduce too. But so even if so you have bacteria that, now you've got two of them, but let's say you got another guy that comes in from the outside that bump into each other, that conjugate, they swap out some genes. So the point is, in the hospital you're always cleaning. So anybody that's going to die from the cleaning products that you're using, or if you don't clean as well as you should and you give one or two of them a chance to survive, something about their genetic makeups, means that they might be a little tougher than the other ones. So they survive that cleaning. Well, then they pass that resistance off to the other ones that conjugate, and then they reproduce too. So you do that. And that's why in hospitals you tend to get, hopefully this makes sense, you tend to get these very antibiotic resistant bacteria, and it comes from overuse of antibiotics. Like if you try to kill everything with antibiotics, pretty soon antibiotics don't work on anybody. And it also comes from people who don't take the full course of antibiotics, and it also comes from hospitals because, when you get half-assed cleaning measures and stuff, they start to build up resistance to the things that you're using on them. It's like when you play guitar, your fingers get blistered and hurt. But after 3, 4, 5 weeks, you build up some calluses and it doesn't hurt anymore. The bacteria, they share the genes, and then everybody ends up, and then you start getting these, the MRSA ones, the I can never get that antibiotic name now, resistant Staphylococcus aureus, and then all it takes is a normal bacteria, and they're dangerous because we don't have anything that can kill them. It's very dangerous. Is this going to be on the test? Holy moly says, "Hi Archie. Sorry I didn't say hi." Right? So sorry, sorry, I'm you guys may not notice, but I'm a biologist, got a lot of experience. So with somebody like Chantal, even if she didn't have MRSA, she could very well pick it up. If you every time you go into a hospital and you're immune compromised or you've got some kind of wound or something, it really does up your chances of picking up one of these really bad infections. And also, even in the water there, there's so many, and it is true in Thailand especially. So let me back that up. I was talking about in the United States, to find MRSA tends to be in hospital settings. Same with C. diff. You tend to get it when in the hospital. I'm not sure how it works in Thailand. It might be completely opposite. Their water might be loaded with it. I don't know. I suspect that it's much easier out in the wild to get MRSA or some of these more terrible things, in Thailand because it's hot, sweaty. You've got more rural settings, and and they don't always have the infrastructure that we have. So yeah, I just even by using the water and stuff, uh, she could be picking this stuff up. Yeah, Stephanie, I love biology too. I know. Sorry, I know, Amy. I'm just like, I get so excited. It's one of these days. Don't even get me going off. Like, if anybody has to go to college and is like taking a genetics class, I used to teach university. So anybody needs help, like with like DNA oxygenase or something like that, or 3' to 5' and how DNA and ribosomes and how they, and messenger RNA. Oh yes, please get a hold of me. I'm your, I'm your man. I can do this. Um, yeah, I can't do math, holy moly. I'm so terrible at math. You can give me an algebra problem and I can go through with the rules I know and do the problem 6 different times, come out with 6 different answers and go through and justify it 6 different ways. I just don't understand it. I don't know how I made it through organic chemistry. And then I had to make it through a year of um not organic chemistry, the what's the other one? The inorganic chemistry. Oh my God, that was hell. And I had to take a year of calculus too. I wanted to die. Oh no, a semester of physics. Ugh. So okay, let's see. Where was I going? I had another picture, Chantal too. So so her straw man, and then the fact, and she's gotten really comfortable with degrading herself for money on the internet. We all saw the tuk tuk where she was sliding around and she's so huge and like it, I'm not going to say like I said her but her apron has dropped to the point where it's nearly to her knees, and then the top of her thighs are getting fat that she can't physically sit like this anymore with her legs up like this, like in that tuk tuk she was laid back like this with her legs splayed out. And I've noticed when she sits, she's starting to do that. You're starting to do that. My 600-pound life sit, where they sit, legs splayed out, and when they put their hands down, they set them like this. She has now adopted that position every time she sits. So she can say what she wants, but she's getting much bigger. Um, Let me see. I need to. I'm gonna scoot Chantal right here. See what the chat says. Calculus. I wish I could do calculus. Hey, yarn enthusiast, good to see you. There's a superbug endemic in Indian hospitals. Oh yes. So yeah, and she's in Thailand, but yes, there is. The antibiotic resistant problem in India, which is not that far away from Thailand. There's with tourism and stuff, is a huge problem. Like, we don't hear about it over here, but it is a huge problem. So it's not if these things finally hit the United States and Western travelers. It's they already are taking Western people out. You just don't hear about it because it's still. But yeah, excuse me. But being in Thailand, there's a good chance she's going to catch something like that. Exactly, Yarn. I agree. Oh, thank you, Blondie. Blondie, and I said thank you, but oh, hey, Dolphin Gal, welcome, welcome. And Blondie, thank you so much for the card. And like I said, I'm excited. I have some props I want to buy. I have some ideas for videos this winter. My garden takes up so much time and energy. I have limited energy lately, unfortunately, so I have to pick my battles. Let's see. Oh, and something else is like, so on the live that Chantel did on September 7th, which would have been Thursday, somebody brought up Sinead O'Connor having died, right? Well, that happened quite a while ago, but Chantal said, "Oh wow, how sad. R.I.P. Sinead. Nothing compares to you." She sang that, right? She said the exact same thing days earlier when it initially happened. You guys remember that in our lives? And so the point of this is that Chantal speaks without thinking. Like it's, and I will say this, like I am less nervous now when I'm live than I used to be. Like, it's much easier for me to sit down and have a conversation and to look at this and do that. But somebody like Chantal, who has no filter, I can see how it's real easy for her to just, she's not taking in the information that's being said to her. She sees a thing or somebody says a thing and she just, Chantal reacts constantly. That's what's falling out of her mouth, is this reaction. Chantal's not responding. Responding is where you read the chat, you think about it, you formulate what you want to say, and you respond. That is not what Chantal does. She reads a thing and she reacts, whatever falls out of her mouth. And so, this is the second or third time on a live. She's like, oh, Sinead O'Connor died. How sad. That just once again points out that nobody but Chantal is important to Chantal. That things don't stay with her because she doesn't listen, she doesn't care, and if it doesn't directly affect her, she gives zero fucks. Yeah, losing brain cells with that high blood sugar. And the way she eats and stuff, anybody that's ever been around a diabetic knows that somebody, when they eat a lot and you've got uncontrolled diabetes or even pre-diabetic, you get almost drunk off of the sugar. You can literally see her eyes glazing over. I think her and Salad probably are using. She's not getting totally. I gotta wash my hands. Just wipe my nose. She's not getting totally ripped out of her mind over there with THC, but I think her and Salad are partaking. But, it's not really my cup of tea, so I'm not that great at telling when somebody's baked, but I'm pretty sure she's probably been hammered a few times, and Salad too. She is abhorrent. She really is. She is shallow. She is, hey, EP, good to see you. Yes, I decided to go live. Well, I'm attempting to do some processing of some zucchini. Okay, I'm gonna move Chantal's fat ass and her terrible attitude out of the way for a minute. Yeah, you go sit over there in the corner. Well, she takes up the entire corner, but so I can at least keep working on stuff. But I always say this, like I say, oh, get your fat ass out of the way. It has nothing to do with Chantal's looks or her weight. It's just something I can razz her about. She could be a skinny legend. She would still be a terrible human being. Like this is truly about the monetization of her arrogant, ignorant, entitled, clueless, lazy, self-absorbed fuck of a self. The fact that she's super morbidly obese is just like, is just a cherry on top, something else we can rub in because she doesn't care, guys. So the more she claims she doesn't care, the more I believe that Chantal feels she is bullied because we're so terrible. And her straw man arguments. Hold on, I need to wash my hands. I'm going to touch food. So for anybody that watched Chantal wash her hands, that is not how you wash hands. You know, you sing the ABCs at least twice. When I'm on the ambulance, when we'd go into the hospitals, I'm doing a modified version of that because it's just so everybody knows, in case anybody in here, which I don't know, maybe Chantal's lurking. Chantal, that's how we wash our hands. Whatever you did, where you went like this and went and shook them off, yeah, that's not washing hands. That's just spreading bacteria around, and I don't know, giving it some water. Let's see. And oh, did I say hi to you, Goose Chuck? I'm so sorry if I didn't say hi, Goose Chuck. Okay. Anyway, so okay, to tell you the truth, I am not good at using this food saver either. I'm I've got some tomatoes I need to dice up also. Move these over here. Yeah, this was just kind of spur of the moment. The tiger thing and then her live where so it's just I'm curious, you know, how long before I'm just curious. Like, I don't think this time around she's gonna get denied the visa, the tourist visa to Kuwait. And Milk Tea did bring up that they very well could have gotten married in Thailand, and it is something they could do. So I'm curious, did they go do that? But I think if they and like I'm of two minds of this. Like Chantal, if she had a marriage certificate, I believe she would show it. But also, I think she might wait till she got back to Kuwait. So, did they get married in Thailand? Is that something Kuwait will recognize? I'm curious about that. Should I blanch these tomatoes and get the skin off? Because I'm gonna dice them up and freeze them because I don't want to can them up. Trying to can up tomatoes, you got to pressure cook them, and they're a nightmare because of the acidity. So I'm just gonna. I don't feel like getting the skins off them, so I guess I'm just gonna look at this knife. Yeah, Laura is okay. Got me a really nice knife because she was afraid I was gonna cut my fingers off. I'll use that one. It's small, but it's. Oh man, this tomato is just Okay, let me see what chat says. Doesn't have the back of her hands. Yep, she doesn't wash. Um, so it's going to be curious. I'm going to be curious to see if she gets how much longer. Like, if her and Salad have finally gotten legally married, are they going to start proceedings to get it recognized in Kuwait? But she would be really hard pressed because he would need to show he could support her, and she would need and I still think that I'm not 100% sure, but I still think there'd be some health requirements. We all know as Chantal went for any kind of evaluation that no doctor worth their weight in salt and or spit would recognize Chantal as a healthy individual. She now has this infection in her groin area, with the high blood sugar, her lack of hygiene and stuff. It's going to be very interesting to see if that thing's going to heal up. I don't think it's going to. Okay, that guy's a little soft. I'll throw him away. So, I really wish Kuwait would deny her tourist visa this go round. I guess we need to see how long they stay in Thailand. Like, because they've been there, what, about 9 days now? So did they book a 2-week vacation? Or has this tourist visa been held up and they're hanging out trying to do something else? Or did they just book a 2-week? And the fact that they went during like the monsoon season and stuff like that, I'm sure they got some kind of break. Like, um, I, and if you look at the way Chantal dresses, the amount of things that they've actually shown, she's not really gone and seen that much. I think she spends a lot of time in the hotel room. Like, who goes to Thailand and then raves about the food from 7-Eleven? Are you fucking kidding me? God, she's just so cringe. Sorry. So, for anybody that saw my video the other day, I'm pretty tall, so I have to kind of, so you can see me in frame. So I think with this FUPA, I'm just going to call it a FUPA infection, that she's going to just sit in that room and eat. Salad, though, like, for anybody that had any reservation as to whether or not Salad was a terrible human being, listen to the words he's been speaking, especially in this last live. Salad is right up there with Pete's and McStabby in my book. I hope he gets everything that he deserves coming to him. I really do. He is just a different flavor of awful, as far as I'm concerned. And he's obviously drank the Kool-Aid when it comes to Chantal, because sorry, I got some zucchini seeds on the floor. He thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. He's getting way too cocky. Um, it's too bad, you know. It would be nice if the Kuwaiti authorities did show up at Chantal and Salah's door when they get back. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be interesting. But yeah, Salad's a scammer and a scumbag, and there's a lid for every pot, and those two deserve each other. Just, they really do. And I hope he gets everything he deserves coming to him. I really do. And I'll leave that at that. Nope, she still hasn't mentioned the fire natural ginger, not that I know of. Oh, did she mention? Oh, that's right, Blondie. That's in her most recent live. She brought it up. She brought it up and she did say something like, "Oh yeah, they'll probably try to blame it on me or something like that." And the fact she's not putting out these vlogs right as she does them. So she hadn't, just my opinion, she had not just been to that market. I think it had been a couple days earlier, because she's talking about all the footage she needs to she keeps talking about all the footage she needs to edit. So I think her and Salad got there. I think they went and did a bunch of things. I think she's gotten this infection, the FUPA infection, and I think now she's spending her time in the hotel room, and she's going to start doing a lot more lives and talking about more, you know, time, talking about situations that are appropriate in space and time. I think all of those vlogs had been pre-recorded by a few days. That's just my opinion. So now she can just sit back. Um, and did you see? I think it was once again Santa Cook for the win. She put out the video from what the I'm peeling the skins off some of the big chunks of these tomatoes. Nothing's worse than like you're eating tomatoes and stuff, and then the skin rolls up, and you're like, "Ooh, gross." Um, that she pulled up the footage from Madame Tussauds Wax Museum on what those, because I thought, wow, is it because they're in Thailand and it's a cheap version of Madame Tussauds? Like, why do those wax figures look so bad? They don't look like who they should look like, you know, because I've been to a Madame Tussauds before. Well, then in Sansa's video, she showed what those figures look like, and they do look like the people. So that just shows you how much the filter Chantal has on is distorting everybody. I would just love to see what Salad looks like without the filters and to see exactly how bad Chantal looks because we know that eyes look a lot bigger and that she's got a lot of slimming and smoothing and stuff going on. But um, tomato seed, let's see. They're both misogynist pieces of shit. They deserve each other. Kuwait DD, exactly, Blondie. Oh, right, a Kuwait DD. He's not even Tall Pete's anymore. He's a Kuwaiti DD. He's just this apologist. Ugh, gross. You know, water always seeks its own level, though. You know, everybody used to feel sorry for DD, and I'm like, So I feel bad for DD's mother. It's a shame. He not hurt. Yes, yarn. Okay, so I have this new box, so let me take Mini Chantal. And just so you guys know, I haven't even got my vlog for the day done, so today's vlog might be kind of lame. Here, let me turn chat on. Hold on. Live chat. Okay. Hold on. Why isn't it showing? I don't know how to get it to show. Maybe that? I can't get the chat to show for whatever reason. Hmm. Can you guys still hear me? I know what I'll do. I'll pull it up on this and everybody can say hi on my the other iPad. Okay, hold on. I know, I'm being ridiculous, aren't I? I apologize. Okay, let's see, live. Let me go to live chat. Let me turn this down. Okay, so everybody, I am going to turn this around. Okay, everybody in chat, please say hi to the vlog. So in chat, say hi to the vlog because I will put this in my vlog because my vlog is not even remotely done yet. So I'm filming. New vlog, baby. Hey, Dolphin Gal. Holy Moly says, hey. Stacky says, hi. Raccoon Man. Salad isn't Eddie. He is Eddie Munster. Hey, Irma Gerd. Hello. Hey. Yarn says, hi. Hi, vlog. So, everybody, if you just are looking at my vlog, I am doing a live, and everybody in the live is saying hello. Archie, Blondie, Clothos. Okay. Liz says hi. Okay. I'll go back so I can see what everybody's saying because. Okay. Stephanie C says hi. Yes. Yeah. Salad is reading comments and running his mouth, and he just. I hope he gets everything that's coming to him. Let's see. It seems like there was one other photo, like when they went in that's so the I think the tiger one is a fairly new vlog. I was looking at it the other day, but there, you know, you could pair up from what she was wearing, but I think most of the stuff she's put out has been, you know, pre-recorded, and I think she's going to spend a lot of time in that hotel room. You know, I think she's going to have a hard time healing up too. Just my 2 cents. Oh, and here's one that I took of her. Oh wait, that one was still. Never mind. That's not the one I was looking for. Where is it? She's just the cringe, just the absolute cringe. I know everybody's chatting in chat, so I can take my time looking for what I'm looking for. Hmm. Can you imagine though being out in public the way she is and just the absolute sweating, and then how she's trying to? Oh, and even in her most recent when she was at the tiger park, you can see the buttons on this thing are they're holding on for dear life. You know, it's she's outgrown everything. She can't even wear abayas anymore. She's outgrown everything. Mm, let's see. Norm from Cheers. Hey, Norm. Hey, Dax. Oops, my phone just turned off. So I was behind on chat. I do that too, Blondie. Nothing's worse than like you're saying something and everybody in chat's like, yeah, forward the video. You're like, what? And then you hit forward and you realize you're like 4 minutes behind in the video and you're like, oh, you feel like a moron. I've never actually used this food saver, so I don't know. How long have we been on for? So we'll stay on for about 10 more minutes and then we'll uh we'll bail because I figured by then everybody said what they need to say and I'm gonna have to figure out how to use this food saver. Usually the food savers, I let Mr. Grebo do that because it's old. It's really old. It's a piece of junk, but you know, if it works, why get rid of it, right? Yeah, exactly, Jarella. It's like we might as well just I figured it's nice for to have get I guess what I call our OG gang together and just kind of smack talk and chat and but not get to the point you know, or we're repeating ourselves or we're getting just rude and nasty like Chantal does. But for here, for anybody that needs the actual definition. So one thing, so a few little pet peeves of mine. Why pet peeves? Because she drives me nuts because she just does. So Chantal has been using the word literally a lot, and I use it occasionally to, and I use it inappropriately to highlight, but literally definition. Um, the definition of literally, it's an adverb, in a literal manner or sense, exactly. The driver took it literally when asked to go straight across the traffic circle. Used for emphasis or to express strong feelings while not being literally true. That's the informal way to use it, but Chantal uses it in an informal way, but she uses it to the point that it doesn't mean anything anymore. And I think she thinks she's being emphatic when she does that. No, it just makes you sound stupid and ill equipped to use the English language, you supposed fucking English major. Meh. Pet peeve. And what was the other thing? Oh, a straw man argument. So let me read out for straw man argument. So the exact definition for anybody who didn't hear my little rant earlier is a straw man fallacy, sometimes written as straw man, is the informal fallacy of refuting an argument different from the one that's actually under discussion. And that's a big thing that Chantal does. Like when we are discussing your terrible behavior, it doesn't matter if unless you know when you start bringing up other things that are not related to our conversation specifically about your bad behavior. So an example of a straw man argument take something out of context. For example, an individual campaigning for better pedestrian safety might say cars are dangerous, and their opponent could turn this into a straw man by claiming the campaigner thinks cars should be banned. So does that make sense? That is what Chantal does. You know, she brings up FFG and reaction channels and this and that and Dee and McStabby and all this stuff, and but she takes no accountability for her own behavior. And like I said today, when she said, you know, I'm uncancelable, bitch, please. Like her views are falling overall. She's not getting super chance. So I think at some point, uh, she has quite a few sock accounts, and I found more than one person. Like I tracked down several people that have, because some of these people they're just not very smart. Like you can tell they have a second account, but if you follow the things they like into their channel, you can find their main channel. And there's this one chick on here that's commenting all the time, and she's a middleweight, over she's a pretty overweight middle-aged asshole that has a cooking channel, you know, that gets few hundred views when she uploads, but she's one of the sycophants for, Chantal. So I know I always say water seeks its own level. So Chantal has a lot of Chantals, and it seems like there's a lot of them, but you think of how far out across the world these people are spread, it's not that bad, but there are more than, there are quite a few. There's some Chantals out there. Birds of a feather flock together. So of course they're going to praise her because it justifies their own terrible behavior. And MCM, right? Yeah. Hello, MCM. Good to see you. But I'm not here to power level on Chantal, and I'm not here to even speak directly to her because I am so adamantly against cow tipping. But one of her things is like, I'd like to see you cam up. Just because everybody doesn't cam up to make a fool of themselves on the internet doesn't necessarily negate what they're saying about you. Two things can be true at once, you know? She's like, FFG doesn't have a man. FFG's big. She tries to claim that FFG's bigger than her. Are you kidding me? No. The point is when you don't get to justify your own bad behavior by trying to you what was that? Uh your candle does not burn any brighter just because you blow somebody else's candle out. How's that sound for to put it into terms she might understand? Is Did I say hi to Irma Gerd? I'm sorry if I missed you, Irma. Her delusions are fascinating, right? Yeah, and I did say she gets lots of praise from her Beezers for sure. Well, yeah, and it's like never and not that there's a lot of them, but never underestimate the power of a large group of stupid people, and like George Carlin said, you think about the average person that not the smartest guy, not that, but just the average person, right? He gets by and he does his thing, right? If he's average, that means 50% of the people are stupider than he is. So you think about the way your average person behaves, that means 50% of the people behave below that level. So yeah, Chantal might have a couple hundred Beezers that they see nothing wrong with how she acts because they too themselves are disingenuous, ill-equipped to deal with other human beings, insecure, mean, nasty, entitled, self-centered, slightly ignorant, and lazy, hedonistic, useless. All those little adjectives that we use to describe people like Chantal, and a lot of them tend to be also overweight. Is it a causation thing? No, no, that's just another characteristic that they have, that further attracts them to Chantal. Let's see, what did MCM say? Foodie is about 60 pounds from being a big as Amber. I think so. Hey, Shannon CG, hello, thank you for coming. Um, yeah, I agree that Chantal, so with this boil she has cooking, uh, I, like I'm sure she'll make it home on the plane just fine. And unfortunately, her tourist visa, I really think it won't be denied, and she'll get to go back to Kuwait. She will. It's going to be interesting to see though if the Canadian government, like, I heard somebody saying that Chantal, the reason she always talks about the U.S. is because she really wished she was in the United States. I think it was on Goose Checks Live. And I kind of believe that about her. Like, I think she really wants to be American. But if Chantal lived in the United States, the IRS would not be nearly as nice to her about her taxes as the Canadian Revenue Authority is. And yeah, she would definitely not be happy with the healthcare here. She is a logical fallacy festival. Exactly, Jarella. Well put. Uh, I bet she becomes immobile before. Yes, ALR. I do agree with that, Irma, because ALR was born in 90, so she's only going on what, 33. Chantal is like going on 40, so I really think Chantal is one ankle roll away from immobility, like in a permanent sense. And I said this earlier, she already sits with that my 600-pound life splay. She sits with her arms like this, and you can just tell like that there are things she cannot reach. It's a fact. Fight me. So I think she's very close to immobility. Hello, Laura. Good to see you back. Oh, I don't have it here, but I I've got my biscotti too. So, yeah, Laura got me this awesome biscotti, this amazing vintage German. It's really cool. So, isn't ALR taller? Chantal is 5'1". ALR is 5'3", I believe. And so there's about this much difference. Not a lot, a little bit. Overall, yeah, it makes a little bit of difference. So here, hold on. Hold on. I have my pajamas on. I apologize. I have my pajamas on, and I have a 1994 maroon and hunter green pillowcase duct taped over that window so there's no lights shining into the camera. So 2 inches, hold on. 2 inches is this much exactly. So yeah, it's not a lot to adjust for height. I mean, that means that Amber could probably realistically carry an extra 50 pounds than Chantal, and they'd still be equivalent ish, maybe a little more, but yeah, I think Chantal will be immobile soon. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this infection. I think she's going to sit in that hotel room and just eat. It'll be interesting to see when they're going to go back. Let's see. I looked after super morbidly obese people in hospital. It took 8 of us to turn a 600-pound person safely and 3 to 4 to provide personal care. He did lose weight because we provided his meals. Yeah, yarn enthusiast. So hey, Nat B from Canada. Hello. Thank you for the happy birthday, Nat B. Thank you. Thank you. Sweet. So sorry, I'm just rambling. I had no plan for this. Usually I have all my notes. I've just been busy. I haven't been making notes because I'll get back to you, Yarn. Don't worry. But I got to say, overall with Chantal, and no shade. People, make your coin, do what you want. It just seems like we got a lot of new channels that they just stream to stream, and and everybody's on all the time streaming and talking, and I get kind of burned out. So I just was like, I don't want to be that guy. So but today it's when the tiger thing just really, and her straw man arguments, and her just when she said, I'm uncancelable, I don't care what you think, I was like, oh, I gotta chop up these vegetables anyway. I might as well say what I want to say. Oh, hold on. I got to get out some more of my tomatoes to my. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. So, Sniveling Weasel brought me all these plums. They're absolutely amazing, but I'm just not going to be able to use them all before they go bad. So I'm going to also process these and vacuum pack these because I absolutely love these plums. I mean, I think they're Italian plums, but my God, they're good. They're so sweet. And so our weather around here this summer has been crazy. It's like getting down to 40 degrees at night now, but it's getting up to 80, 90 during the day. And then we have other days where it doesn't get above 60, but it made the best plums I've ever had in my entire life. So Yarn Enthusiast was saying looking after morbidly obese people. So I was in the back of an ambulance, and I think I've said it before. I had to do with the coroner's office. I used to work with the prosecuting attorney, but we would get people like and I think I've told this story before, where you get food, like a quarter of a grilled cheese sandwich or Skittles. So when Chantal said she had found a Pringles lid in her folds, I believe that. I've been in situations where we've had to call for more manpower, and you had to get 8, 9, 10 people to get somebody out of the house. I have seen chainsaws used to get people out of houses. I have seen people have to be kept on scene until a bariatric ambulance from many miles away because they're so large. And Chantal's shape is so unfortunate. Like fat floats. I think I said something. I guess I haven't been live, but fat is not as dense as like water, right? It displaces less water, so fat floats. Chantal floats really well, but because of her unfortunate shape, it would be interesting to see how she floats. Like, would she float face down on her back? I'm curious. You know what I mean? Like, because of her shape, she very well might drown if she fell into the water, simply because of the way she would naturally want to float because of her fat distribution. I was thinking about that. So yeah, she would float very well. The question is would her head be above water? And could she even combat the fact that she's so fat. So I'm going to be gross and eat my plum. Hopefully it's not too loud on the mic. Yeah, yarn, and that's the thing is you have to be really careful when you're dealing with because and one of the things you learn when you're in the medical field is you never make somebody else's emergency into your emergency. So you help where you can, but it needs to be appropriate, it needs to be planned out, and you never just kind of wing something, especially when it comes to very large people, because you can really get yourself in a bad spot. I completely get it. Stephanie said, let's see, in my childhood, in the desert Southwest, my mom grew Italian plums. I know they are so good, aren't they? And if that's what these are, and they're so sweet, and they're just, oh my God, they're so good. And so I keep eating them, but I need to get them processed because I can't let them go bad. So I've never made plum cobbler, but maybe I'll try to make next time I go live. Maybe I'll try to make plum cobbler. So if anybody has like a plum cobbler, the recipes I found are all for the ones that have the really red um, flesh in them, so they have a real pretty color. These ones, they've got the purple outside, but they've got the yellow inside. But oh, they're good. Yeah, Stephanie, they are amazing. So if anybody has a plum cobbler, a good plum cobbler recipe, send it to me, and I'll make that on my next live. Oh, and is me eating this plum really loud because that misophonia or whatever? Like if I hear people chewing in a restaurant, I'll get my food to go and I'll leave. I can't take slurping. I can't. Mm-mm. I can't do it. Oh no, Laura. We were just talking about that. Like, when you're making comments and why aren't they syncing up, and then you realize you're way far behind in the live. Yep, we had that conversation. Ooh, plum freezer jam, Shannon. Yeah, that is good. It is. Um, I'm not gonna make any freezer jam this year, just because. So my blackberry jam, I know I was all upset it didn't set up. I waited 48 hours. It set up pretty good. And then the stuff that I videotaped myself like repectining. Holy shit, you could spackle a wall with that stuff. So yeah, it's not. It looks a little runny, but it's not. It's the blackberry jam's perfect consistency. But the one batch that I repectined, I added a little more sugar and a little more pectin. Yeah, you could spackle a wall. You might be able to even hold up like a car chassis to change the tire. I mean, this stuff is thick, and I don't like the consistency, so I don't know what to do with it. So if anybody has any idea what to do with 6 pints of over pectin, I don't know, me being a dumbass jam, let me know. Um, I do need the plum cobbler recipe. And let's see, what else were we saying? Oh, good yarn, thank you. Has anybody else noticed that the YouTube has just really been glitchy lately? Like chats freeze and lives or videos just stop, and I've really been having a lot of problems with it lately. And the recommendations I keep getting recommended, like videos I've already seen or videos I said I'm not interested in, like whatever they're doing with their algorithm, it sucks. Like it's just getting worse. Oh, good, you can't hear me eating. That's good. Yeah. Yarn, go ahead and come back in. Yeah, so if you're having problems, leave and come back. Yeah, all the channels have just been terrible. Oh, add the jam to cookie centers. That's a good idea. You think like sugar cookies? That's, I know, yeah, jam cookies. That would be yummy. So like you think a sugar cookie? It'd be terrible with peanut butter cookie, I would think. Maybe a oatmeal cookie? That is a great idea, Desiree. Yeah, Shannon, I agree. So, oh, melted over ice cream. So I tried that, Stephanie. And it is so pectin. It just, the consistency when you heat it up, it just kind of gets, I'm trying to think, like, have you ever had okra? You know how okra kind of gets that like boogery slime? That's what it was like. I was like, oh nope. So I think in the center cookies might work. Oatmeal cookies, yeah. So maybe I'll try that. Some pumpkin zucchini. Oh, I bet you that was good. Butter or shortbread. So if anybody has a good shortbread recipe, please send it to me. I've actually never actually made shortbread myself. Um, I keep hearing it's hard, but I wouldn't mind trying it. I've had a decent recipe. My cousin has my uncle's recipe, and it's amazing, but they won't part with it. So, and you can find them online, but all of them are like, this is the most delicious. Um, and I did make some bread and butter chips out of a few of those lemon cucumbers that I had, but God, it was so much work. So next year, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to grow some regular cucumbers because I really love bread and butter chips. Love them. I also love pickles, but because I wasn't feeling well, then the dill that Sniffle and Weasel brought me finally died and dried up, so we cut the heads off so I can still stuff them in and still use them because realistically, it's the seeds that give it the flavor. It'd be nice to have the nice fresh heads in the thing, but it's not required. It's just, let's see, I've heard Scottish shortbread is a good recipe. Ooh, yeah. The Brits make the best shortbread, in my opinion, says Laura. Yeah, I'm a shortbread hooer. I just love that stuff. Oh my God, it's good. Right? Exactly, yarn. It's like, yeah, I love shortbread. It's easy and just look up traditional shortbread from Scotland. Okay, Desiree, I'll do that. So I guess I'll try that. So let me write down in my book. I'm gonna put traditional Scottish, and then maybe I'll do that or plum cobbler. So if anybody knows about a plum, I don't know why I have such a hard time with the word plum cobbler recipe, and then Scottish shortbread. I know, I hold my pen funny. I went to a private Catholic school and they want you to be right-handed, and the nuns used to slap my hand, but because I didn't write with my right hand, they kind of ignored me. And by the time they realized I was holding my pen wrong, it was far too late, and that is now how I write, courtesy of the evil Irish Catholic penguins that kept smacking me with a ruler and trying to make me write with my right hand. Scottish shortbread recipe, and then I could put plum jam in the middle. Or no, the blackberry. I'm just going to call it the blackberry pectin jam. Pectin jam center. There we go. All right. So I guess I'm drooling about thinking about it too. So I guess we should probably start wrapping this up. Otherwise, I'll just start repeating myself. And that's one thing I don't like to do is where we've chatted so long, where you start repeating yourself. I repeat myself constantly anyway, but I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So let me see. I'll go through and pull up a few more of. So we've covered Chantal trying to clickbait people by saying the woman fat shamed her. The woman did not. And then she said, oh, the woman came back around, was trying to hit on Salad. I so highly doubt that. I really, truly doubt that. So Chantal is fine with degrading herself for money on the internet at this point. I hope she gets everything that she deserves. Your bestie is a lefty. Yeah, being lefty's hard. It is. It's rough. Notebooks don't work right, and let's see. So anybody that's just rolled in, I said that this picture right here, I keep showing it. I think this picture from the Pattaya market, this should be Chantal's. This is poster child Chantal for how Thailand's going for her. I think her getting out of that boat was humiliating. I think it took Salad and two other people. I'm sure it was a nightmare getting her out, and when the gorgeous woman in the red dress at that thing came sauntering up and they took the pictures, notice how it cut away and that wasn't mentioned again. I think that really irritated Chantal. I don't think she liked that pretty woman being around Salad. I always say, methinks the lady does protest too much. Chantal keeps saying, I'm confident. The more you tell me you're confident, your actions do not match your words, Chantal. I think you're highly insecure, but I also think you're a hedonistic piece of shit, you know. So, um, the tiger thing, I'm not going to keep going over that because that was just really upsetting. But did you see how when they went into that cat cafe and they got food, she wouldn't eat it in the cafe, but she sat down directly outside of the cafe to eat it after sitting there with her legs splayed open in the cafe, buttons holding on for dear life. Just embarrassing. uh I've showed the apron and fupa picture. I think most of the things that they went and did were recorded quite a while ago. I don't think that. So I'm trying to remember what day. Where did I get this photo? So this one is from August 30th, 2023, and I can't remember where they were, but let me look. Hold on. Chantal was wearing on August 30th. Chantal was wearing the same outfit or the same top, that blue one that kind of looks like an urn. But I think at the Tiger Park though she had a black top on. So, but I do think all these things were recorded a little while ago, and I don't think any of them have been washed. Yeah, I think we've. Can anybody think of anything else we need to cover? She thinks she's uncancelable. Her views are definitely going down. Like, she's not breaking over 10,000, she's getting 300, and I just wish people would stop clicking on her, even giving her the view. You can go to the farms and watch archives. You can watch stuff on other channels. I mean, your social, I always say this, social media, your views, and stuff, your social media currency is valuable. Spend it wisely. So you don't need to be first in line to watch a new upload. What's wrong with waiting to, spend your social media currency wisely. Do with that what you want. I'm not going to tell anybody who they can and can't watch. Not my business. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Oh, thanks, Nat B. Yeah, I still have to do my vlog from today. I have some stuff filmed, but so today's might be a little late, and I'm on the fence. Like, am I going to do another year of vlogs? I think maybe I might do like Vlogtober, Vlogvember, and Vlogmas, and then I'll see how I feel. Because believe it or not, it's quite a bit of work, and I've been doing this every day for a year, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what everybody else thinks. If everybody wants to keep watching them, let's see. I can relate. She is such an embarrassment. She is an embarrassment. Oh, thank you, Shannon. To be honest, I would love to meet Salad face to face. Yeah, yeah, and I can guarantee you. And the thing with Salad, and I always say this, his comprehension, like he speaks okay, but Chantal doesn't correct him when he uses his English incorrectly, and his comprehension isn't that great. He speaks better than he comprehends. She doesn't correct him, so I don't think and he's not getting that much better, And Chantal uses words inappropriately and stuff. So yeah, Salad, he thinks he's so great, but karma's coming for him. Thank you, Nat B. I probably will too. My short's coming up completely out of order when I go through them. You know what? Today, so I was trying to clean up. I'm trying to put together add I'm calling this year agreeable. I'm trying to add them, and my shorts are coming up out of order too. It's really weird. And like the playlist, because I was trying to go through them, they're not playing. It's so something's up with YouTube. Yeah, I agree, Yarn. Her language skills are definitely, it's a real use it or lose it kind of situation. She's not using any critical thinking. She surrounded herself with yes men, so her behavior is becoming worse. And yeah, she's not using these things, and so she's losing them. And then you add the high blood sugar and the poor diet and stuff. Yeah, I think she's actively getting stupider. I think she was a little had a quicker wit before, but she is rapidly losing that. Use it or lose it. We'll leave it at that. So, let's see. She is aggravating, I agree. So, okay, we have been on for 1 hour and 44 minutes, so I'm gonna sign off. Thank you everybody that showed up. Thank you to everybody for the birthday gifts, the cards, the well wishes. It was like yesterday was hands down maybe one of the best birthdays I've ever had, and it was so appreciated. Thank you so much. It was really nice, you know. And so I'm fortunate. I'm glad that we can all chat about these things together. Because if you try to have this conversation with anybody who's not part of Girl World, they look at you like you've lost your mind, and you try to explain it. Like I was trying to explain, I've had somebody I was trying to explain it to, and they thought I was talking about like a soap opera or a TV show. I was talking about these characters, and then they realized I was talking about YouTube people, and they just looked at me like, "Have you no life?" And I'm like, "Well, I have a life, but I've got a hobby too. My hobby is watching this train wreck of a human being further derail their life because they deserve it." Yeah. So, okay. So, thank you, Yarn, for being here. Yeah, I think it's probably both THC, the THC or Yarn, the THC and the blood sugar. Thank you for being here, Yarn. Thank you, Nat B. Thank you, Shannon CG. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Desiree. Oh, Janine T. Yes. Thank you, Janine T. Yeah, I love this apron. Thank you for being here. Pernilla, it was really good to see you. Sorry if I rambled a lot, you guys. Thank you, Blondie. The tiger thing, it broke me in ways that and I'm just gonna leave it at that. It broke my heart, you know. Hey Dax, thank you for being here. Um, thank you, EP. Thank you, Jarella. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Irma Gerd. Okay, I said Desiree. So everybody, hey, Aunt Amy, so good to see you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It was good seeing you. So anybody else that wants me to say goodbye, let me know in chat, and then uh, I'll try to be more. I say this every time. I'll try to be more consistent. I'll try to give you some notice I'm going live. I'll tell you that. Natural Ginger, thank you for being here. Hopefully it's not some ungodly hour for you. You probably need to go to bed. So, all right, guys. Thank you, everybody. I'll try to start now that summer's getting over. So, just real quick, me making excuses. Thank you, EP. Me making some excuses. The garden really takes a lot of effort. I'm trying to process all the food because I hate letting food go to waste. My buddy Lady Riley, like she grew some of these eggplants. And then she brought me some of her fresh chicken eggs. And then she's got these amazing heirloom tomatoes that she grew. And so she was here yesterday. You see her in chat. Her name's Lady Riley. She's amazing. She's great. I'm trying to talk her into getting some photos of her garden. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Um, but I'm trying to process all this food because letting food. Yes, these are amazing aubergines. I'm so excited because the littler ones, as you know, they don't get bitter. The big ones get bitter. Thank you, Princess Alyssa. Thank you for being here. Jocelyn's mom, good to see you. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to do. They call it Horish Bottom June. It's anyway. It's I'm losing my words. It's not Arabic, it's Farsi. It's Farsi. It means stew of eggplant. You make it with ground lamb. I don't like lamb, so I'll make it with ground pork probably. But yeah, Khorish Badam June. And you use curry and the eggplant. Oh my God, it's so good. So I want to make some of that. We'll probably vacuum pack them so they don't go bad because I'm not going to have time to do it, this next month. And I want to go see Auntie Grebo soon too. So hopefully you guys will get to see more of Depot Bay. I just need to get healthy enough that I can get in a vehicle and actually make it down there without it sending me to the hospital. So we'll see how that works out. All right, guys. So everybody have a nice evening. Pernilla, goodbye. Princess Alyssa, Yarn, EP, Jocelyn's mom. Okay, I said bye to everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope everybody has a really good day. And I'm truly sorry for anybody that the tiger thing. I mean, if it just breathe, okay? She doesn't deserve to live rent free in your head. She really doesn't. She's not worth it. Just walk away. Her karma's. She's gonna get karma. She's even though karmic things are things that happen to you in your next life, let's just kind of bastardize the term, and she's getting hers right now. Just look at the body she's trapped in and stuff. So yeah, everybody take care. Storkram, Pernilla. Okay, bye guys. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I need to go get my vlog done, and I will see you guys all again soon. And I promise to try that there's at least a 50% chance that I will 100% let you know next time I go live with at least an hour or two notice. Okay, bye. See, how do I turn this off? Okay, bye guys.